Hello everyone, I'm Chester44 and welcome to this Let's Play of Blades of Avernum. Last episode, I believe we escaped from some bandits, something like that, and managed to make our way around to the town we're meant to go to. A little bit of exploration, but hey, we've made it there. So let's go into the town and see what's going on. The town of Amadis rises from the sullen ground. Guards stare solemnly upon entrance. Go see Mayor Lumborg, one of them says, or preferably Captain Ambrose. But first of all, we will explore. Amadis's guards are well trained, and as such, they're rather curt. You should see Mayor Lumborg, or preferably Captain Ambrose. Man, this guy put a lot of detail into everything. You can't go around that way, there's stuff in the way. And it's getting dark. Nope, didn't mean to do that. Urgh. Seems kind of fitting with the, yeah, I can't board the boat, it's not ours. It seems kind of fitting with the way the guy talks. So much detail. Too much detail in everything. Warwick. The rest is layered in graffiti. Okay, that's actually someone's house. I like that idea, that it's surrounded by grass and you can't really get into it. That's actually nice. I like that. That said, oh man, this town is so busy. I mean, just visually and all the stuff around here, just walking around is kind of frustrating. It makes this place feel overgrown. Plus, all the buildings are just a mess. Alright, let's start with this one in the southeast. Elm, Blacksmith, Lacona, Fletcher, Elena, Baker. The air is laden with a heavy metal scent. A large, muscular arm strikes down with din against a red-hot dagger. The dagger groans with every beating and lets out an eerie flash. "Hello!" bellows a deep, gravelly voice. "I'm Elm, the blacksmith. Let me know if you need anything. If you're looking for baked goods, see my wife Elena next door." Can I purchase some of your wares? We can. Actually, we are going to need to sell wares. And lockpicks? Yes. Yes, definitely need those. I'll buy all of them. Do you need help with anything? Elm temporarily discards his normally friendly demeanor. I do actually, thanks for asking. Elena, my wife, says I don't keep very good care of my storeroom. I didn't believe her until this hideous beast set up camp in there. I'm too scared to remove it myself. He hands over a spare key. Please, remove it and I'll pay. Thank you. Do you buy items? He shakes his head. Sorry, you should see Sancho to the west for that. I don't do resale. He resumes working on the dagger at his anvil. What do you think of the problems affecting Amadis? He looks down at his anvil. It's a sad story, really. People have disappeared, others have left. Why, Glamis the tailor left just last week. I'm sure you'll figure things out. This guy's room is a mess. This shop is covered in furs and trophies. The air sweats a savory wooden smell. All around, one can see the work of an industrious Fletcher. Said Fletcher is intently crafting a quiver of arrow shafts. The knife scrapes unnervingly against the grain of the wood. Fletcher notices company and gingerly sets the knife down. Sorry about that. I'm Lacona. I can sell archery equipment if you'd like. She picks up the knife in hand and artfully continues fletching. She has a considerable stock behind her. Well, you clearly like to hunt. I like to live simply. She points at her leather clothing. I gather my own food and tailor my own clothing. I built my house with local wood and tools I borrowed from Elm. She glances at one of the fur mats. Although I only hunt with a bow, I've tried to claim some lizard hides, but their skin is too tough to be penetrated by even my finest arrows. I think someone with a blade might be able to kill them. Bring me 10 lizard hides and I'll reward you with some of my finest product. Don't we have some? I thought I picked one up. Beautiful skin, beautiful skin. I guess I didn't. Oh well. What do you think of Amadis' afflictions? Lacona draws one of her bows. I'll shoot anything that comes near. I'm sure you'll find the root of the problem, though. Can we buy some equipment? We can. Don't want to buy anything. Can't sell anything to her. The sweet aroma of fresh bread permeates the room. A tall, red-haired woman walks back and forth with loads of baked goods. She doesn't look all too happy about her job. She swivels her head. Hello, love. What can I get for you? I make food day in and day out. Might as well buy something. Did you just call me love? Yeah, love. She shrugs lackadaisically. Nothing personal. Can I purchase some food? Yeah, but I don't think we need any right now. We got a fair bit. She brushes some crumbs off her apron. Thanks for getting some food off my hands. Do you like your job? She reels in disgust as she pulls a stray crumb out of her ear. I hate this job, but my father expected me to carry the family line. I didn't care much for mining, so I got stuck with this. She begins to furiously knead dough while she speaks. I have my husband Elm and my son Derek. They keep me company. You should talk to Derek. There aren't any other kids in town, so he gets pretty lonely. What do you think of Amadis' problems? What do you think? It's awful and I can't stand it. I can't stand this bloody job and now people are missing or dead. She looks at the dough in disappointment and kneads it again. Oh, that's the monster in here. Well, it's dead now. This place is really a mess. Ooh, steel longsword. Too heavy. Too heavy. Got it. Bar of iron. Can sell that. Okay, this steel longsword is 3 to 15, which is better than that sword. So if you don't mind, still too heavy. Fine. There we go. Not that one. That one. You've got a steel short sword, so you're going to wield a steel short sword. Okay, there we go. The vapor rat in your storeroom is dead, Elm. Elm sighs in relief. Oh, so that's what it was. I wouldn't want to wrestle one of those things. He takes the key back and delivers a broadsword and shield. Should help. Iron longsword, I think. A ring. Huh. And iron small shield, which will go to Bonnie. She's carrying too much. Okay, moving on. Mithril Inn. An assortment of Empire currency sits in strenuously neat stacks on the table. A middle-aged, balding man with thin reddish hair stares at the money with utmost scrutiny. He observes every single nick in the coins. He's spinning a small copper coin in a tightly controlled manner. Clearly has a lot of practice. Startled, he turns around and notices his company. Oh, hello. I'm Lyle. What do you do for a living? I'm from a long line of merchants and bankers. I'm responsible for a large portion of mithril exports. Without me, the Empire would lack some of its finest equipment. Lyle then rambles on about trade laws on the works. It's a rather dry subject to someone who isn't in the trade. The patrons in the inn groan as they hear the discussion. This clearly isn't his first bout of rambling. What can you tell me about mithril mining? Lyle is pleasantly surprised by the question. Oh, it's a fairly intricate process. First, the ore has to be extracted, just like any other ore. Then they crush it with huge grinding stones. What's next is pretty amazing. They send the dust down a spiraled chute, and because the mithril dust is lighter, it lands on top of the pile. Then they smelt it at extreme temperatures. In the next step, they refine the mithril ingots, and I purchase them and resale them in distant lands, turning a profit and making the Empire a better place. The soldier at the bar stool rolls her eyes. Lyle is still here meticulously sorting his coins. A single speck of copper missing and he would set alarm. He turns around in slight disgust. What do you want? Do you sell anything? Yes, I do. He frowns. He inhales with gusto and adds arrogantly, but to be honest, I don't deal with adventurers or low-grade smiths like that elm across the way. I sell high-quality mithril to high-quality smiths. What do you think of the problems affecting Amadis? He shrugs. Well, it hasn't affected my profits at all. I'm still able to export and resale at a pretty penny. That sounds rather selfish. Oh yes, all you moral pushy types say stuff like that. Meanwhile, I'm the only one who gets things done. Selfishness makes the world go round, and I contribute greatly. You know the gatehouse is closed, right? He conceals his surprise fairly well. He speaks gruffly. That just means I can move product through without interruption. Works for me. The urge to punch this man is rather difficult to restrain. I bet. This middle-aged couple is enjoying what looks like the fried back fat of a pig. Odd. They're quite engrossed in their meal. They certainly aren't going to speak to strangers in an inn. Okay, then. Amadis is... Oh, that's... Never mind. Usually innkeepers are out and about tending to customers, but this one is slumped in his chair. He has a heedless deportment that infects the state of his inn. Hey, I'm Cole. I can get you a room or some beer or even some food. He wraps his hands on the table for no apparent reason. What do you know about the problems affecting Amadis? He leans back in his chair and sighs contentedly. I know a thing or two. Here, relax and have a seat. He pulls one of the open chairs out. While ago, some creatures made work of the settlements up north. When I say work, I mean some dread-awful nasty work. People went missing and some dudes were murdered. It's pretty gnarly stuff if you ask me. He pops his feet onto the table. Anyway, if you ask me, it all sounds like some of that crazy voodoo stuff. I don't know where it's coming from, but I'd sure as hell stay away from it. I hear you've been sent to investigate. I'd probably be flooding my pants if I had that gig. Be sure to talk to Captain Ambrose. The mayor isn't helpful and whatnot as of late. He's likely wondering what's going on with the mayor. Try to pick the lock. Yay, we got in. Silver ring. Can be sold. Shirt and pants. Wait, did he not? Too many items. Can't pick it up. Okay then. Nothing in there, nothing in there. Wait, Draco, yes, you do have pants. Good. I guess that's the lavatory. Ooh, this must be where the innkeeper lives. Boots for you. No, I didn't want the candle, I wanted the coins. I do have a pair of boots already, so these boots will go to Draco. And you'll drop the candle because we don't need it. You already have boots. What the hell? How come you haven't worn any boots? Religious text. And a ledger. Let's see what these say. They don't say anything. Okay, never mind. Okay, that's the inn. Let's take a look at what's in this building here. Glamis, quality clothing, closed. There's a tailor that was mentioned. Nothing in there. Some earrings, which, well, they have some some value to them. Not gonna take any of that though. See, what is in here? Oh, this must be... This is where the captain is. Okay. Reading that. Several soldiers are trading tall tales and ribaldry. Among them is a young acolyte who is noticeably divorced from the conversation. Greeting. I'm Joseph, the local healer. Can he teach us healing spells? He can! He can teach us a lot of spells. Wow. Definitely improve healing. We can learn Summon Shade and Enduring Barrier. I guess Enduring Barrier is worth it. And at least having the spell would be good, so that's good. Can you heal us? Never mind. What can you tell me about Amadis' problems? He gestures at his fellow soldiers. We've seen a lot of odd things. Signs of demons, ravenous wolves, and a few stray kobolds are on the list. You should talk to Captain Ambrose to learn more. Alright, we shall. Crammed inside this minuscule office is the captain of the Amadis militia. She is unusually young for her post. Her armor indicates a lack of wear. There is a mountain of papers on her desk. Hi, I'm Captain Ambrose. Anything I can help you with? She nervously wets her broadsword on the stone-laden floor. Do you have any quests? She quickly nods. I've received reports of an ogre to the southeast that tends to a flock of kobolds. They're awfully close to the main road. I'd like them eliminated, for posterity. Well, that ogre is already dead. Captain Ambrose is pleasantly surprised. Well, then I guess I can already reward you. How about that? She cautiously pulls out a satchel of coins from her desk. The satchel is sun-choked and withered. She carefully measures out 250 coins as a reward. Captain Ambrose spins around in her chair. She taps her fingers on the desk as she speaks. Hello again. What can I help you with? Why do you have so many papers on your desk? She casts her eyes toward the floor. I'm supposed to be a captain, and I was, until the disappearances happened. Those disappearances included Mayor Lumborg's daughter, Callie. At that point, Mayor Lumborg shut down. It was like a spell came over him that chokes from the inside. Unfortunately, someone has to take care of the administrative tasks, and unfortunately, that person is me. Captain Ambrose fidgets with her thumbs. She's not entirely comfortable with this conversation. Why did you have to do the tasks? Captain Ambrose squirms uncomfortably in her chair. It's an old Amadis law from before my time. Essentially, the military takes over in the town's absence. In the mayor's absence. Quite frankly, I don't agree with the law. She stares despondently at the stack of papers on her desk. Well, someone has to take care of it. What can you tell me about Amadis' militia? She dons an inquisitive look. We're well equipped to deal with any packs of kobolds and Mithro customs, but lately ravenous wolves have been attacking our troops. Captain Ambrose anxiously rubs her fingers together. Some of our number have claimed sightings of demonic activity to the north. I'd stay away from there unless you're prepared. What can you tell me about the north? She scratches her head. It is an untamed, barren land. The first Empire incursion into this area found nothing of use, so it has remained mostly untouched for a century. I hear the people who once lived here had a coming-of-age ritual that required venturing to the Northlands. Doesn't sound like fun. The people who once lived here? Yes. These lands were once inhabited by a lone tribe called the Yanhut. The Empire drafted them into the mines and they perished to illnesses. It's a sad story. You should ask Thompson if you'd like to know more. He wanders around town. The guards at the gatehouse were slain. What? She reels back in astonished anguish. That's horrible. They were great people, great soldiers. I can't... What happened? She listens in horror as she hears the account of the bandit fortress. How could they build a fort right under our noses? How is that possible? Fortunately, the bandits are dead, but there is no replacement for our people. In despair, she rests her head on her hand and stares longingly. What do you know of Mayor Lumberg? Captain Ambrose's mouth opens awkwardly. He was a good mayor. Then the trouble set in. His daughter disappeared, his wife Julia separated, and he was left a shell of a man. Such a sad sight. Honestly, I think someone more suitable should replace him, but he was appointed by the high and mighty Empire, so I get stuck with the paperwork. Where's Julia? She moved upriver to get away from everything. Nobody's heard from her since her daughter Callie disappeared. Someone should go check on her. Wait a minute. Bok Lawn. He wanted us to kill her. Also, I just realized we all had level ups. So, yeah. Intelligence and defense. Intelligence and defense. Actually, hold on. We need the nature lore. Strength. Can't improve priest. Actually, yeah, priest spells improve. And defense. And mage spells improve. I think that's good. So why do those guys want us to kill Julia? That's more than a little concerning. Okay, what was this? Warwick. This is a cat. You probably shouldn't talk to cats. That would be weird. The cat greedily rubs itself against your leg. How typical of a cat. Do you mind, cat? You're kind of in the way. Ah, thank you. Okay, there's someone in this house, so... In this well-kept house lies an array of alchemical equipment and a few stray items of furniture. An aging woman with salt and pepper hair and stained fingers grinds some energetic herbs at her workstation. She stands up and quickly wipes some leaf off of her skirt. She extends a grimy hand. Well, hello. I'm Warwick. Nice to meet you. Can you teach any alchemy? Yes. Energy potion is something we could use. Do you sell any potions? She does! Not gonna buy any right now. Do you know where herbs can be found? A typical alchemist would be offended by this question, but Warwick is not miffed. A typical alchemist would be offended by this question, but Warwick is not miffed. I grow my own herbs on this property. She pulls out a map. Some herbs grow in the swamp to the east. Oh, and if you hike up the mountain to the east, you'll also find a glade with herbs. Say, since I've helped you, maybe you could help me in return. I'll reward you. What do you need help with? She nods thankfully. I'm looking for a rare alchemical ingredient called halloran berries. They're useful for joint pain issues. If you could bring me some, I'd return the favor with some elixirs. Where can these berries be found? I have no clue. I'd suggest looking in the wastes to the north, because I've never seen any around here. Be careful. She dons a slightly worried expression. What do you think of the problems affecting Amadis? Warwick frowns. These lands used to belong to the Yanhut tribe, but the Empire drafted them into the mines, and they all perished due to illness. It was a horrible fate, and we owe a great debt to them. The Yanhut had magics unknown to us. Perhaps they initiated a far-flung curse to seek revenge for their people. The words fall like raindrops, but they bite like ants. What do you know of the Yanhut tribe? Oh, I know some, but you should ask Thompson. He wanders around town. He really knows a lot about the history of this place. Thompson, someone we need to keep an eye out for. No one in here. But is there anything we could use? Yes, gold coins. And a scroll. What kind of scroll? It doesn't say. Oh, there's Thompson. A young man in apprentice robes wanders aimlessly about town. His thoughts almost visibly bear him down. Hello, I'm Thompson. I'm a historian from the Academy of Pralgad. Historian? He cocks his head enthusiastically. Yes, I'm studying the history of the Yanhut tribe for my thesis. I've gathered a lot of information in my travels around Sharon. He gestures at the surrounding town. A thought flitters away from his head. Also, I have a spare boat I'm wanting to sell. You seem like the exploring type. I'm willing to part with the boat for a mere 100 coins. Can I buy the boat? Thank you. He collects the money gingerly. I suggest you sail west to the tribal circle or to the south for the ritual grounds. What can you tell me about the Yanhut tribe? The Yanhut once inhabited Sharon. They had an advanced knowledge of alchemy and access to magics unknown to us. For centuries they lived off of the land, never once needing to resort to agriculture. Then the Empire came. They found deposits of mithril and, along with the rest of the surface world, claimed the land as their own. Governor Ashernal of Pralgad forced the tribe into a wretched deal. The deal forced the Yanhut to pay taxes on the land in exchange for their lives. The only way the Yanhut could earn money was to work in the mines. Soon the Yanhut culture faded away and they became a depressed people. Unfortunately, the Empire brought strange diseases which eventually spread to the entirety of the tribe. The whole tribe died off several decades later. The Empire has never apologized, even under Empress Prazak's rule. What can you tell me about the illness that killed the Yanhut? Well, the illness that killed the Yanhut caused the body to break out in small white pustules. The victims were afflicted with extreme fever and nausea. They suffered in agony for the 2 weeks it took to finally perish. The Empire paid no heed to the illness. They coldly imported new workers from the capital as the Yanhut died out. What do you know of the Yanhut culture? From what I gather, the Yanhut was a gregarious society. They had strong family ties and a moral code which stipulated aid for those who had hit fallen times. You might note that the Empire has no such protections. Children were cared for protectively by a few esteemed wet nurses. Upon reaching the age of 150 moons, the child set out in her Dinua hut, as they called it. The Dinua hut consisted of a 2-month journey into the northern wastes. Once the child returned, she was now considered an adult. Adulthood granted right to vote in their democratic tribal customs. 150 moons, that's 32, 144. That's 12.5 years. Okay. The Yanhut had no leaders. When 5 or more adults issued a proposal, the whole tribe would gather and vote upon the agenda. Attendance at these gatherings was mandatory, except under extenuating circumstances. Voting gatherings took place at the Stone Circle Island to the west of Amadis. Whenever votes were held, the whole tribe conducted a feast after the gathering. Animal skulls were left behind as a reminder of mortality. Oh, the Yanhut shunned punishment. Their criminal code stipulated that offenders be monitored for 5 years, but they forbade any form of retribution. The Empire found this practice barbaric and instilled their laws. No punishment? How does that work? What do you know of Yanhut magics? The Yanhut had access to the demon plane that allowed them to manipulate weak-willed demons. Demon servants were summoned to aid in construction of their buildings. In return, the Yanhut provided them with choice meats. The Empire attempted to comprehend Yanhut demon rituals, but failed to translate the process. They ultimately banned the practice and any association with the demon realm. Because the Yanhut shunned retribution, they did not use their demon magics to defend against the Empire incursion. Unfortunately, their magic could not prevent disease, so they all perished. What do you think of the problems affecting Amadis? It is unfortunate, but in a way, it is a poetic justice for the people of the Yanhut tribe that once lived here. I know this opinion is unpopular, but that is what I believe. He wistfully toys with a pebble in his pocket. Okay, what have we got in here? Ooh, wand of ice. Nothing there, nothing there. Ooh, a blessed cloak. I will give that cloak to Fox. Actually, you know what? I can give that cloak to Fox. Let me just hand this to Bonnie. And there we go. City Hall, Mayor Lumborg. City Hall, Mayor Lumborg. Sancho, Mercantile. This is the guy who we can buy stuff from, I believe. Items of various sort litter the floor. Somewhere behind this mess sits a pasty, short man with a scrap of dark hair frantically clinging to his head. One can almost make out an unmade bed in the back of the house. A voice flees from the man's mouth. "Oh hey, a customer! I'm Sancho, owner of Sancho's Mercantile. Name's just a coincidence. Anyway, I sell and buy, and I know a lot about miscellaneous stuff. Just ask." You know what this is? You got a blessed sling, monkey bracelet, no, and another monkey bracelet. I'm not going to use those. That would be a horrible idea. And a magnetic ring. Minus 50% less chance to be hit, which means we'd be hit more often. No, I'm not going to use that. And a cursed crossbow. Why all these cursed items? He sticks his pinky in his ear and scratches and itches it. Let's take a look. He stares at the item in an inscrutable manner. After a few terse moments, a revelation strikes his face and he identifies the stuff. What do you think of the problems affecting Amadis? He reaches a stocky arm for a bauble on the ground and twists it. He nods listlessly, but doesn't say anything for a few lengthy seconds. It's terrible. A tear escapes his face as sweat struggles through his pores. One of my friends, Merc, was murdered up there. All they found was a leg and left hand. Nobody's seen his wife and son. Sancho stares down at the floor. I hope you'll find a solution to the problem. Even the good people we have left are starting to leave. He kneads his hand into his forehead, presumably out of stress. Okay, now we can finally sell this stuff. I'm going to sell the Blessed Sling because it's thrown missiles which I never train in. Okay, can't even sell the magnetic ring. And you... yeah, you've got better than a crude pike. So, okay, silver ring, crude pike, curse thing, that. And that's good. We have a lot of coin now. I approve. Thank you very much. Pick the lock. Some wine, tunic, nothing in here of use. I believe, yes. There's a statue in here. Okay, this fine leather armor we can steal. Some meat. Ash bow and steel arrows. Actually, you've got an ash bow, you've got an ash bow. So you take that one, and you take that. Okay, not bad at all. Well, that must be the Fletcher's house now that I think about it. Okay, I think next episode we'll go into the mayor's house and figure out what exactly it is they want us to do. Because this episode has gone on long enough. So that'll be in the next episode. Till then, I'm Chester44, that is Fox, Sheik, Bonnie, and Draco. This has been a Blades of Avernum Let's Play, and I shall see you all next time.